So there's a movie I want to talk about that I don't hear mentioned a lot. It's one of those like forgotten films. So, in fact, okay, tell me if you recognize what movie it is. Tell me the timestamp in this video of what point you recognize the movie if you do. So there's this movie about a high school kid. His name, well, let's call him Jay. Jay is kind of nerdy. He works at the school paper. He works in the school store. He's got a girlfriend and his little sister that he hangs out with, and he's got a few friends. Well, he's going to school, and then when we get to the actual school, we hear definitely not forced exposition of a new kid coming to this school. And this new kid has all these horror stories of terrible things that he's done, but nobody knows anything about him other than he's just this scary mystery bully, whatever you want to call him. And the stories sound just insane. I heard he punched out a tank and like all kinds of crazy stuff. And so Jerry, as gets to school, he overhears this or that, and then finds out that he has to do for the school paper an article about the new kid. And so, at some point, he ends up kind of accidentally bumping into the new kid. This buddy ends up really not liking. He doesn't like to be touched. And Jerry, trying to be friendly and his nerdy, awkward self, touches him, like taps him on the shoulder, and the new kid, the bully, he is like, he threatens him. He throws him against a wall, a mirror, and he says, "We're gonna fight at 3 o'clock." If you don't know what movie it is by now, you probably haven't seen it. Um, so throughout the day, Jay, Jay, he's trying to figure out how to get out of this because he's like, I don't know how to fight. He's like this nerdy little scrawny kid. He goes through a bunch of different methods. He ends up paying this one like jock in the school to push around Buddy, and Buddy beats him up, like takes care of him very easily. Threatens him multiple times, saying you're never going to get out of this. And so it even comes down to the fact that he gets sent to the principal's office for crazy reasons, and he goes to Principal Lex Luthor and finds out that like nobody believes his story that somebody's threatening to beat him up at 3 o'clock. Hi. And so he ends up stealing money from his school store so that he can pay off this bully to not fight him. And then it turns out that he ends up deciding, you know what, I am gonna fight him because I think he gets insulted so much that from Buddy that he ends up being like, you know what, no, we're gonna fight. So he does that. Punches a locker as he's walking away. I love his reaction because he punches the locker and then he turns around the corner and he's like, ow. Like, it's perfect. So he ends up going to the fight at 3 o'clock, and well, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it here. I know it's like a 30-year-old movie, so I still don't give spoilers. But if you have seen this movie, do me a favor. Give me a rating on a scale from 1 to 22. 22 is the best. Tell me if you remember this 1987, I don't know, high school movie, 3 O'Clock High. It stars Casey. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. Richard Tyson's in it, Jeffrey Tambor. Tell me if you remember this movie. It was such a fun movie when I was a kid, and the whole scene with the brass knuckles, it actually got me when I was in whatever grade I was in. It got me to do some research and found out the brass knuckles are not nearly as they're not safe for the person punching, so they wouldn't even be a good idea anyway. But it was like that became the coolest idea of owning brass knuckles. But yeah, tell me if you remember the movie, and don't forget, nostalgia rules.